Welcome to English Prep Review. If you remember, you'll have 75 questions to answer in 45 minutes. One thing to keep in mind is they recommend that you read the whole passage. Why, you may ask? Because you're going to run into questions that have to do with the whole passage and the sequence. For example, this one, where you see the numbers in the boxes, that's a trigger that you're about to have a sequence question, such as this one. You'll notice it wants to know the order the sentences should appear in. So if you've read the whole passage, it makes that a lot easier to answer. Proper English is really important and not relying on slang that we're kind of used to. I might have is an example of using proper English instead of I might of. Knowing punctuation is really important. A lot of us think that a comma can hold two sentences together, but it's not a big enough guy to hold two sentences. You have to use something like a period with a capital letter, a semicolon, a comma and, a comma but, a comma or. All of those will help you with answering the questions that deal with two sentences put together. Ready for some quick, tricky ones? What do you notice in that first sentence? The cat lost its collar. Supposed to be possessive. Its does not need an apostrophe to be possessive, so it's correct. How about the next one? We need fewer hours in the day to complete everything. Anytime you can count something, you would use the word fewer, as opposed to using less in the next sentence. That assignment takes less time. Well, we can't really count time specifically, so we'd use the word less. The baker handed the cake to Quasi and me. I tend to miss this one a lot. I would like to say to Quasi and I, but that's not correct. Get rid of Quasi and. The baker handed the cake to me. Mr. Quick, who plays the guitar, likes peanut butter. You see this one a lot. People will use the pronoun that. Mr. Quick that plays the guitar. That's not correct. Need to use the pronoun who. Ready for some subject-verb agreement? Whenever you use and, it would be plural. Zippy and Tootie are. If you use or, it's singular. Zippy or Tootie is. The group is a singular group, so it would be the group of students is going. You would just take out of students because it's a prepositional phrase. Checking pronoun and antecedent agreement is really important, and this is another tricky one. Each student would refer to one person, so it would be followed with her resume or his resume, not their. This is he, this is referring to the person, and that is he, so you would use those together. So on the phone, you would say this is she or this is he if someone's asking for you. Parallelism is one of my favorite ones. Parallelism is simply looking for the rhythm and keeping the same thing going. I like to go fishing, biking, and hiking. You would not say, I like to go fishing, biking, and to hike. Keeping sentences simple, not making them wordy or awkward, is really important. Don't try to use huge vocabulary or make the sentence longer than it is. Statistically, on the English test, you will use the option no change 25% of the time. You will use the option omit the underlined 50% of the time. So that's a handy little trick to keep in mind if you're not sure which one to choose. Finally, one really valuable tip. All things being equal and can't decide what the answer is, choose the shortest option. Let me repeat that one more time. If all things are equal, pick the shortest option. Okay, you've had some quick tips and some ideas to help you on the English test. You're now going to do a practice English test, 30 questions. You will have 18 minutes. So try some of these tips and try some of these techniques and become more familiar with the English portion of the ACT test.